We're so glad you've joined us on the Loose Cannon 102, I think. Celebrated my centenary performance, and here he is, Alan Gibson of JSoccerMagazine, who knows all about all kinds of football, including Arsenal. Were you impressed with Arsenal on tour? Let's just get down to it. I won't give you the menu. And yeah, feel free to promote the magazine, why don't you? He's not wearing, I told him to wear the Inamoto shirt, which he said we can point to it. So thanks for that. Thanks for that. So anyway, it was described by Arsene Wenger, I just saw it this morning, as a difficult tour.
But there was
the tour of Asia. There were positives, so why do you think it's being described as a difficult tour? Do you get the feeling that Arsene perhaps didn't want to, I'm sure he wanted to come to Japan, but do you think he wanted to bring his team prior to what's going to be another difficult season, no doubt, without any new players as such, apart from Yaya Sonogo?
Let's face it.
He's better than the guy from Togo.
Let's face it. What do you think? Yaya Togo.
Yeah.
Well, it was like 30, 35 degrees, even at training at like 6 o'clock at night. It was 75% humidity from what I hear.
Yeah.
Or more.
Thank you for stealing my notes.
Actually, well, Japan played Korea last night in Korea, and the guy at the stadium was making a little tweet there. It was 98% humidity there.
Really?
Now, to me, I know somebody's explained this to me in the past, but to me, if it's raining, it's 100% humidity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, which raining is wet, but no, it's relative stuff. But you know,
and it wasn't that hot in Japanese terms. Urawa wasn't that hot. Nagoya, that's a different story.
Believe me, it's gonna get warmer actually. But they're in Hong Kong now, which is just as bad. Basically, I'm sure that Arsenal needed to get fit. They came to Thailand and Hong Kong and Japan instead of going to Sweden, Norway, and whatever. They probably more important. Oh, sorry, that was Manchester United, and Manchester City, and Spurs, and half the Premier League's in Hong Kong now. Yeah. Let's face it, the team is making a lot of money, but maybe more importantly, except for the powers that be who want to make lots of money, is, and you saw it firsthand, the fans got to meet players and officials and saw their heroes in the flesh. And even more importantly, perhaps new people saw them for the first time, and will be fans for life.
Yeah,
you know, so you know, it's a good thing. People can't make it. They can't make it because they're injured or whatever. Wasn't the complete first team squad. You know, he can make decisions, and you know, so he's building up the fitness. We're making new fans. We're meeting old fans and making people happy, I think, and making a lot of money.
And do you think that these Far Eastern tours affect a team negatively when that team starts the season in the Premier League? Cause it's not. I mean, Arsene always used to say the reason why we had the training camp in Austria, which generally was Austria, and pre-season games in Germany, that would be about as far as we'd go for a pre-season game. And he based it on the fact that players get tired and then they don't perform come the start of the season. And obviously Arsenal do have to perform right at the very start of the season because they've got Champions League qualifiers, 2 of those.
Well, again, I might have mentioned it in previous podcasts of yours and mine, but these are professional players who should be able to handle a flight now, you know, 12-hour flight across the world, and then they've got 3 weeks to acclimatise back into it, because Thailand to Hong Kong and Hong Kong to Japan, where it's just you know, different time zones by about an hour or 2. It's just like going to Spain for a holiday, you know. So to me, these are professional players who should be able to handle this easily. And then they get back, there's another long flight. Okay, have a day and a half of sleeping and catch up. It's not like it's going to affect their season at the end of August, in my opinion.
But Arsene is very precise about these things, and that saw the open training session, he had his watch out. Well, I didn't notice him with the watch. I was watching Rio, but he flashed by, and he was. You know, they keep on saying he's first. I think Arsene said he's always on the training ground last, and he's always first there. Well, in fact, it's the opposite way around. Perhaps because he's slightly injured. But he was last out onto the pitch. He was first back into the changing room a long time before the others.
That's because he's so fast that he does it all in the half time that everybody else, is he?
So tell me, but how impressed were you with Ryo Miyaichi?
I didn't really see a lot of him, to be honest. I mean, I saw him in Japan when he was young. He's still young, isn't he? When he was a lad, and you saw a lot of positives. And when you see a whole game, which is I saw him in Holland a few times, and he was quite spectacular in his Holland games when he played full games.
And they want him back.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Currently.
So when he played for Arsenal against Nagoya, it was really good to see him. You know, he looked a bit of a sort of eclipsed a little bit by some of the other players, right? And then suddenly there's a mega volley, and then it's Ryo Miyaichi.
Yeah, and
hello Ryo, how you doing?
And if you're going to start a footballing agency.
Okay, thanks for your call, Ryo.
He'll be the first.
Be back soon then.
He'll be the first on the line trying to.
That was Ryo Miyaichi's agent telling me that I really shouldn't be saying nice things about him until his move to Manchester City is complete. No, I didn't say that.
That's never going to happen.
I was saying, yeah, he
in the near future.
I mean, he suddenly there was that blistering little volley of his, and then they let him take the penalty, which boosted everybody. But I mean, these are pre-season games, and he didn't get a lot of time, and he's not fit. He's been injured a lot, so I think we're going to see plenty more of him. Well, I really hope he gets to play in the Premier League with Arsenal. But will he get the time with the Ox and that other guy on the other side? What's his name? The guy plays for England, used to play for Southampton. Oh, Walker. Yeah. I mean,
but there's a lot of competition for places, and if we sign another winger, which might happen, Bernard has been talked about as a possibility. Although Arsene Wenger categorically said there is no story.
There is, but he's a saint, isn't he? Bernard.
Oh, yeah, saint. Yeah, good one. So you haven't heard any inside news, and do you think it would be a good signing another winger if that's a possibility? Is that one of the things that Arsenal need to do?
No, I don't think so. Only if he's finished article already and he's better than what we've got already. You see, I said we there because
you do become part of the scenery, don't you? The
Arsenal scenery.
Yeah. So you saw the Confederations Cup. What did you make of Bernard in action?
Who did he play for?
Brazil.
Oh, that guy.
He came on as a sub.
Yeah, no. He's a decent enough player, but. And would it be jingoistic to say that the Oxlade-Chamberlain and Theo Walcott and even Miyaichi Ryo, with the potential, just as good as Bernard right now, if they're going to sign him now for 3 years' time, because it's cheaper now, and which Arsenal do seem to have about 70 players registered, don't they?
Yeah, but he's going to cost about 21 million.
Even
so
now.
Not cheap at price, exactly. So you're saying, no, we don't really need another winger, do we? We've got Podolski plays on the wing a lot as well, although he didn't. I'm not too sure where he was playing. Interestingly, he got man of the match, perhaps just for his goal. What else did he do in that game against?
Not a lot.
Yeah, I didn't think he did a lot either. But Ryo, did he play better against Uruguay, in your opinion? Arsene Wenger said he did. Would you like to dispute it? He said, inviting the answer, yes.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
You can edit that out, right?
Yeah, perhaps not. But go on. So I'm waiting for your answer. Ryo, better against Uruguay or better against...
the whole team was settling in a little bit better, and Miyaichi, well, the little flashes he had against Nagoya were quite brilliant. He had a bit of a longer, more consistent time at Suarez, I suppose. As most...
There's a lot of sneezing going on.
There's an echo in the building.
I mean, it's the studio audience and we're also sneezing at the moment.
As Manchester United players also said, because you spoke to the Arsenal guys, I spoke to Manchester United after their games, and the result is not important, especially for Man United because they were losing all their games. But the result is not important. It's fitness, it's meeting the fans, it's getting around.
Definitely.
So I'd say, don't worry about it. Ryo Miyaichi
is here to stay.
As long as he keeps off the injury table.
They said that about Elvis, though. He's here to stay. Look what happened.
Yeah.
Didn't get off that toilet.
Well, he lasted till 42, didn't he? I think.
Well, that's not bad going, is it? The top of your game. Talking of top of the game, my mate, Cesc Fabregas, well, I've never met him, I wish I had, on the way to Manchester United, and you were talking about them as well, what do you think? Would Cesc really do that to Arsenal, given that Arsenal gave him his big chance and he's very, very much close, apparently, he's very close with Arsene Wenger? Would he do a Robin Van Persie and leave? From Barcelona, obviously, not
already left
him. Yeah, but we can accept that he's joined Barcelona because it's his boyhood team. But we can't accept that he's going to join Man Utd. I just, personally, that would be very difficult to stomach.
Well, let's be psychologically sneaky about it and say, it's not Spurs.
Yeah, so. But Man Utd are kind of like, in recent years, apart from the last 2 or 3 when we've been fighting for 4th spot, in recent years we've often thought Man Utd are our biggest rivals. I'm not sure they think about it.
I think they are. I mean, let's face it, the team that are winning the championship are the biggest rivals to the team that wants to come forth. Sorry, wants to win the championship.
And go forth and multiply.
Yes,
and we've done that. So talking of that, somebody who probably says go forth and multiply a lot, Suarez. Will he go forth and multiply at Arsenal?
I've seen a lot of stuff about him.
Can you believe all these stories? Do you actually think that Arsenal had bid 40 million plus £1?
Yeah.
And
I believe that I've seen a lot of negative press about him from Arsenal fans who are like, we don't want this racist biting vampire.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course,
cannibals.
if he comes, I would hope that Arsenal fans will support him because he plays for the team. He's wearing the shirt and he's kissing the badge.
I've seen a lot of fans, you know, their comments supporting him as well. So it's about
yes, there's been
70-30 in favour, I'd say.
The fans, of course, they want to see the best players, and he is one of the best players,
without
even if he has got rather a lot of
Yeah.
baggage.
Yeah, but I think you just got to feed him a lot of meat so that he doesn't start taking chunks out of players.
And I won't mention a particular kind of meat because that would be wonderful.
That wouldn't be right at all, would it? Fellaini, do Arsenal need him? And expecting the answer yes again.
Everton need him.
Yeah. And then Man U need him too. But
Man U, come on, they don't need him.
and then would you, if you were Arsene Wenger, you've got £70 million sitting in your transfer kitty, would you spend 23 million of it on Fellaini? Yes or no?
He's worth about 8, I think.
8 million? Are you serious? Everton paid at least 15, if not 17.
He's not a bad player in a you know, an average team like Everton.
So you're sort of not really going to say that he's worth that money then?
How many midfield players have Arsenal got already that, you know, like Abu Dhabi who play every... Oh no.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi. Diaby very rarely plays.
Yeah.
The midfield at the moment consists of Arteta, who's playing out of position as a defensive midfielder, which he isn't, and you've got Ramsey, who's
injury prone.
He's a bit injury prone, but I think he's coming good. But I feel he's playing too deep as well. He's not really suited for that position. We've got Wilshere, who's he's had his fair share of injuries. They're all quite attack minded. Fellaini's also a little bit attack minded, but he can play deep, and he's a big guy. Let's face it, he wins the ball in the air a lot.
But if you get Fellaini and Suarez together, you can just put them together to, you know, do each other, and then they won't have to get red cards. Well, actually, you get a red card for doing your own team as well. Fellaini, he could be a good addition to the Arsenal midfield, I think. 23 million.
How much is this? What's his name again? I've got to read it properly. Kakitani. How much is he worth? And he's going to go to the Bundesliga, I hear.
Right now, I would hope.
Would Arsenal have any chance of getting him in? Because he did have a kind of trial period.
He won the challenge.
And he's really in form at the moment.
He won the East Asian Championship yesterday.
Korea,
basically. Kakitani, it would be one of those things where he needs Arsene Wenger's lawyers to go to the whoever, the Premier League or whatever, or the government, I don't know who gives these working visas out.
But he'd definitely get a work visa, wouldn't he?
Well, he's special.
Do you think he's arguably Japan's best player at the moment? He's got double figures, right? Jamie League goals.
Well, if you take out Honda and Kagawa, you mean that probably the best in Japan right now.
But he's got to be on the level of. Don't you think he's as good as Honda and
not yet,
Kagawa?
But he's definitely got
pretty
potential.
And he's a bit younger, right?
Yep. So he's
not a lot younger than Kagawa.
So going to the Bundesliga, you know, a much lower, lesser league than the Premier League.
Oh, is it? I don't think so.
To get that in. Go to the Bundesliga first because it's easier to get a working visa, and the agents and the you know, the collaborations are easier for him to get the visa. Give him a year or two there, and hi, hello Arsenal. Just like Kiyotaki to Aston Villa.
Yeah, so
Kiyotaki is up there.
And so that was your invented story, was it?
No, it was all over the internet, and I'd have loved that.
Yeah.
It cost less than €2 million from Cerezo to Nuremberg, and now they're talking about 7 or 8 million to somewhere else. Same with Kiyotaki, I'm sure it'll cost a lot of money.
So Kakitani is going to cost how much?
Well, hopefully
so this
Cerezo
mystery
will
Bundesliga
get something.
Yeah.
So when Dortmund, did I say that? When Dortmund take him,
so that's a done deal pretty much.
Well, the agents that I know tell me that they've pretty much promised Cerezo Osaka that they won't take any of their players because that's where Kagawa, Inui, you know, Kiyotaki all came from, and there's 5 or 6 more ready to
so why is Suarez getting all these players? They've got a great youth policy, is it?
Something in the water, I think.
Yeah. So why don't Arsenal play against? Do you think that would be a good idea if they do come back next year, which might happen? Who knows? Should they sort of go to Hiroshima and also Osaka and play?
They've got a great youth team.
So which 2 teams would you recommend they play next time?
I think Cerezo and Sanfrecce would be a good choice.
Yeah.
So and I've got to go now.
All right. Can you just can I ask you 2 more questions and then I'll let you go.
I'll just be preparing
myself. We'll have to have wrestling, sumo.
Go ahead.
Right. Joel Campbell Can you see any sense in getting him a work permit and then loaning him out to another club? He's already been loaned out. He's never played for Arsenal. He's 21, Costa Rican international striker. Scored quite a few goals for
Real Betis.
Lorient, which is Orient, but with an L, like the Orient of
it's
France.
one of these things where
now it's at Olympiacos.
Arsenal have about 70 or 80 players registered, and would it be the same with getting Kakitani now and then playing him regularly in 3 years' time? Is he good for the player or is he bad for the player? And if the player's not getting regular first team action in England, then he's not getting used to England. He's not. I don't see the point. No.
Okay.
Except to keep him away from other teams, which is naughty and
very
immoral, isn't it?
Yes, I totally agree. So finally, one more question. Jose Mourinho's come back to England. I think he'll do well as Chelsea manager. Unfortunately,
never heard of him.
And he's called Arsene Wenger a nice guy.
The ultimate insult.
Is it an insult, or would you prefer to be called a voyeur?
Yes.
Which I'm not expecting you to answer that, but what does Jose mean? Is he actually putting Arsene down by calling him a nice guy, thinking that nice guys don't win trophies?
Exactly. I think he's already started his little psychological battles, and he's basically saying that Wenger's a boring old person who he doesn't care about and isn't worried about.
So
reading between the lines.
So you think Arsenal will finish where next season, based on the squad they've got, which is one addition, Sonogo, and Arsene as manager, and the current situation with new managers at United, City, obviously AVB still at Spurs, Liverpool still got Suarez, and Chelsea have got Mourinho back. So Arsenal will finish where, based on that?
I think it depends on the other teams as opposed to Arsenal, which is a sad thing to say, really. Unless they make a couple of more decent signings and gel immediately, then definitely top 10.
Fourth, is it going to happen? Because that is the prize. That is the big prize.
Fourth or fifth, isn't it? It's going to be.
Will they make fourth?
No, they won't need to, because they'll win the Champions League.
Arsenal win the Champions League. Okay, on that very merry sort of I don't know what kind of note.
That was a nice positive note.
It is a very positive note.
That was like Mourinho calling Arsene Wenger a nice guy. I'm going to Arsenal are going to win the Champions League.
Thanks so much for that. I'll let you go at this point. Do you want to wave goodbye and press the off button as you go past? Until next time. Oh wait, I better check it myself. Off button.